So I hope all have taken this quiz. It is visible to everybody. Just you can answer in chat. So we would see that in the quiz 3, we have almost 10 questions, and all questions were given with multiple choice, and you had to select only the right one. So the first question was, how many types of dwelling places of living beings are there in the world? And we have seen that there are 3 main dwelling places where all the living beings reside or live. So that's why the answer was 3. The next question was, what do you understand by the term swasthana? So the place of origin where living beings live from birth to death. So that is known as swasthana. It means their own place where they are born and live lifelong. So that's why this was the right answer. The next question was, how many earths are discussed in Jain sacred text? And we have seen that in Jain scriptures, there are 8 types of earths have been discussed. So including the earth of the liberated souls and all the 7 earths which are located in the hills. Are these earths stable or in motion like the earth planet of science? So now we have to see that what is the difference in the concept of earth in Jain perspective from that of science. So science accepts that earth is a kind of planet and it is taking around the sun in the solar system. So it is in motion. But so far as the Jain concept of earth is concerned, it is different from the planetary earth. It is a kind of land and very much fixed. So it doesn't move in the way the planets are moving. So that's why it is said, no, they are fixed and a kind of land. This is the right answer. Which water is identified as pure? So you can see that there are various types of water in the world, and rainy water and the water of river which is flowing constantly, and so these waters have been accepted as the Shuddha, what we say pure water. Nowadays we are finding that the big industries, they are discarding their what we say waste into rivers and oceans, so the water is getting polluted, but these waters actually were pure because they are getting filtered by their natural process. So A and B is the right answer. In which part of the universe the macro fire is found? So we have seen that it is the only in human sphere because it is humans who are using such kind of a macro fire, and the micro fire living beings can be found in any part of the universe, but the macro one is only used in the human sphere, which is consisting of 2.5 islands and 2 oceans. In which part of the universe the macro one sensed living beings are found? So we have seen that the micro one sensed living beings are found everywhere in the universe. They are found inside the Trasnadi and also the outside. In which part of the universe the dwelling places of 2 to 5 sensed living beings are found? So you can see that they are confined to Trasnadi only, and that's why this particular part or region of the universe is recognized as Trasnadi, because these 2 to 5 sensed living beings are found only in this particular part of the universe. Is there some relation of water with plants? So yes, though we are finding here that there are certain types of plants which are growing without support of water. Might be they are taking water from rain, or maybe from environment in some other form. But yes, it is said that where is water, there is plants. So this is what we say. We can say that there is a very intimate relation between water and plants. Yeah, water can be found without plants, but plants cannot be found without water. So yes, where is water, there are plants. This is the right answer. What is the particular name of the earth, which is the permanent dwelling place for the liberated souls? So we know that generally we say Siddhashila or Moksha, but the particular name of that particular earth where the liberated beings are residing, it is known as Ishat Pragbhara. So Ishat means little bit, Prag means from in its beginning part or ending parts, it is somehow curved. That's why it is known as Ishat Pragbhara. So if somebody has any questions regarding anything, they can ask. Otherwise, we can start our discussion. Yes. So if somebody wants to unmute and want to ask anything, they can ask. Yes, Tarangaje.
Jai Jinendra.
Yes.
In ninth question, there is another option, third option, which says water can exist without plants. So both the options should be right.
No, what? See, I am talking about the plants. Whether plants are found without water. Okay. So my intention was that, and that's why the answer is that plants cannot be found without water, but water can be without plants.
Actually, one option was also there which said water can be found without plants. So my query was whether both the options should be selected, only one option should be selected.
Just I have said that yes, I here at FIU also I am finding some plants are growing, and they are growing in the space little bit above the ground, and they are said that they don't need water. Okay, so they are growing in that way. But I say that there is water in environment. Okay, and there is rainy water also. So somehow they are also taking some amount of water. It is not that they are just growing without any amount of water. Okay, so that is my view about that.
Thank you.
Yes, Sampaji.
Bandami Naman Swami. When Jain religions take that earth is not moving, but
Yes.
science has proved it. It is not contradictory.
Yeah, it looks as contradictory. So right now we are, especially the scholars are working on this particular, what we say, contradiction or paradoxical findings. But still, we are firm in our opinion that science is talking about the planets, and we accept the planets, but we say that the land on which we are residing is a kind of planets. And now it is a kind of a controversy between the science and Jainism. So still it is to be dissolved.
Thank you.
Okay, so questions are done. No other question. Okay. So today we are going to start discussion on the chapter 3. And this chapter is known as Bahuvaktavyata or Alpa Bahutva. So why it is said like Bahuvaktavyata? Bahu means detailed explanation. So in this particular chapter, there is a very detailed discussion regarding the comparative number of all different types of living beings, and from various different points of view, the comparative number is given or discussed in this particular chapter. That's why it is known as Bahuvaktavyata. It is also known as Alpa. Alpa means less, and Bahu means more. So it means in this particular chapter, we are going to discuss about the lesser number, or what we say, greater number of the living beings in comparison to one another. So that's why it is also known as Alpa Bahutva. So overall, the meaning is that in this particular chapter, Shamacharya has discussed about the comparative number of all different types of living beings from 27 points of views. We cannot discuss all those 27 points of view in one class. In each, if we try to cover it, it may take 2, 3, 4 classes. But we will try to understand little bit, which is very easy for us to understand and to grasp, and without going into much complicated numbers or discussions or comparisons. So I am touching some of the points. We cannot touch all the points because it is too much, and in one class, all those numbers cannot be explained. So just I am giving here some outlines of the chapter, that what is said in this particular chapter. So in this chapter, you would see the comparative number of the living beings as well as non-living substances from 27 points of views. And those 27 points of views are recognized as direction, sense, body, and many other. First, T is left here. So first, the number of the gross one-sensed living beings to liberated souls is explained in comparison to each other from the point of view of direction. So in this particular, what we say, angle, we would see that there are 6 main directions: north, south, east, west, up, and down. So in all the 6 directions, the living beings are found everywhere, but we would see that which kind of living beings are found in which direction and in what quantity or in what number in comparison to other directions and other living beings. Second, the number of all the gross living beings and other substances is explained in comparison to each other from various other points of views. So as I have said, that there are 27 criteria which have been discussed to understand the comparative number of all living beings. So in the first, we would discuss the comparative number from the point of view of direction, but there are 2 to 23 other points of views from which also the comparative number of all living beings have been discussed in this particular chapter. So in the second step, we would learn about them. In the third step, we would see that the number of the gross living beings is shown in comparison to each other from the point of view of their location in the 6 regions of universe. So according to Jainism, the whole universe is very vast, but when we try to understand the number of living beings which are found in different parts of the universe, then universe is divided into 6 parts or 6 regions. So that we will see. Fourth, the number of living beings Yes. So fourth, the number of the gross living beings with certain and uncertain lifespan is explained in comparison to each other. So it is not very much necessary to discuss or to cover in this particular class, but just to take the outline or overview of the chapter, I'm saying that there are certain living beings who are having fixed lifespan it means that their lifespan is determined. And those living beings who have no such kind of a fixed lifespan, they have also been discussed comparatively. In the fifth point, we would see the number of all the 6 substances, and especially matter, is explained in comparison to each other. So we would see that there are 6 types of basic substance according to Jainism, and all are also having certain numbers in comparison to each other. So that would also can be discussed. In the end, the number of all the gross living beings is explained in comparison to each other from 98 points of view. So this, you can see that how much has been discussed, how much has been thought of, and all the details have been given with exact number. So I would say that it is a kind of census of worldly living beings, or all living beings, and also the other cosmic realities. So that kind of census, you can see that how Shamacharya, or maybe it is said that Bhagwan Mahavir was talking to his disciples, especially to what we say Gautam Swami, who was the first chief disciple, and he explained all these numbers of living beings. So now we are starting our discussion. So first of all, it would be better for us to have a what we say, some have a understanding about the concept of universe in Jain view. So everybody knows about it who is into Jain studies already, that this is the universe according to Jainism. And this universe is known as of 14 rajjus in height and 343 ghan rajju in all sides. So this universe is consisting of, you can say that it is of 14 rajjus. This is known as Tasnadi. And this is the lower part. The whole universe is divided into 3 major parts: lower, middle, and upper. So the lower part is having 7 types of hells. Each hell is situated below the previous ones. So you can see that these are the 7 hells which are located here. This is the middle universe where the humans and animals are especially found. And this is also of 1800 yojans, 1800 yojan, it is said. And you can find many oceans and islands in this particular part. The upper part is consisting of 26 heavens. So these are the heavens. So among the 26, it is said that the 12 types of heavens have certain hierarchy system, but above the 12 heavens, there is no such hierarchy. All the gods are equal in their powers. So here, after 12, 9 are known as No Grevek, and the last 5, these are the 9, and the last 5 are known as Anuttar Vima. And the last one is called liberated, liberation, that is moksha, or this is the earth, which is known as Ishat Pratbhar. So this is the overall structure I have discussed about it, because whenever we discuss about the comparative number, we must also have the idea of the universe from Jain perspective, so that we can understand the locality of the jivas in different parts of the universe. So now you can see here, when we are talking about 6 directions, we have to understand that in Jain view, all the 6 directions and we can semi-directions, which are known as Vidisha, and the directions are known as Disha. So all the 6 dishas or directions and all the 4, you can say, Vidisha, which are known as semi-directions, they start from here. According to Jainism, in the middle universe, and also in its center, there is a mountain And this mountain is known as Meru mountain, Meru Parvat. So this Meru Parvat, sometimes it is known as Sumeru Parvat. Some people add Su, and some in some text you will find just Meru. So this is the Meru Parvat, which is located in the very center of the middle universe, and it is said that it is of 1 lakh yojan, 100,000 yojans. 1,000 yojan, it has gone in the lower part of the universe, and 99,000 yojans, it is up of the late. So it means it is seen in the middle universe. And here you can say after 790 yojans above, you will find these old planets. So you can see here the Jain view about the planetary system. All the planets are moving, especially in the human spheres, and they are moving around the Mount Meru. So we can see all the moons and suns, but not the old numbers. We just understand that there is one moon and one sun, which we are perceiving every day. But there are 2 moons and 2 suns according to Jainism. Each moon and each sun is being seen after 3 days. So 3rd day we could see the same sun. They are constantly moving in motion, and all these planets are here, and we are situated here. So you can see this is a land where we are standing or we are residing, or these are the planets which are moving from the, 790 yojans up from the lake where we are located. This is the Jain studies or Jain view, which we find in scriptures. Now we have to see that science has said that the Earth is a kind of planet. It is also moving, and they have observed, they have all the proofs for that. So yeah, it is true. But we have to see that where science and Jainism are differing, and that reason we have to find out why the differences are there. Either the concept of Earth, of science, and Jainism are very much different, and that's why we are finding such kind of controversy. But still, it is to be dissolved. Now we would see here that just for this particular discussion, we have to understand that this is the Mount Meru, and these in the center of Mount Meru, this is the location from where these directions start. So all the directions, they are epitus point, the main point or the origin place is this particular part of Mount Meru, which is consisting of 8 pradeshas, which those pradeshas are known as Ruchak pradeshas. It means that they are the central part of this Mount Meru, from where all the 4 directions and 4 semi-directions start. Now we would see here that all the living beings which are found in this universe, they are in different directions, and when you find the number of the living beings in particular direction, you will see that in some other directions they may be more in a greater number. So here it is said that in west especially, you can see here, this is the east and this is the west, and this is north and this is south. So east and west. So here you can see that in the west direction, the living beings are lesser in number in comparison to the living beings which are found in other directions. In east, you can find greater number. In south, you will get more number in comparison to east, and in north, you will get more number in comparison to the south. So here you can see that how the directions are also showing different numbers of living beings who are found in those directions in comparison to each other. Now you would see here a comparative number of all living beings and comparative number of the gross earth-bodied living beings. So here you can see that there are living beings which are one-sensed, and among the one-sensed there are two types of living beings, micro and macro. Micro ones are found everywhere in the universe, so we are not counting that number. Wherever the counting is done, it is especially done in what we say regarding the gross ones. So you can see, though there is some mention of the subtle micro living beings also, but in most of the slides, you would see that the number is counted of the gross living beings. So our earthly bodies, which are gross, and the life which is found in those bodies, they are also different in number in different directions. You can see here that the earthly bodies which are found in south part of the universe, they are lesser in number in comparison to the living beings, earthly living beings who are found in north direction. In comparison to the north, in the east, you would find some more number. Visheshadik means some, not just a double. And in the what we say in the west direction, you will find some more quantity in comparison to the east one. So here, earthly bodies, living beings are also found in different numbers in all different directions. Here you can see the water living beings, they are also found in different directions. So they are very less in west direction. In east, they are little bit more. In south, they are little bit more. And in north, they are little bit more. So it means in the west, they are in minimum in number, but in north, they are maximum in number. Similarly, the fire-bodied living beings, they are also found in different directions, and they are said to be lesser in comparison to other directions than the south and what we say north. So here you can see in south and north, they are found what we say in lesser number, and in both the directions, their number almost equal. But in comparison to these two directions, in the east, you will find innumerable more number, and in west, you will find little bit more than the east. In the air body, all the air-bodied living beings, especially the macro ones, they are also found in different directions. So they are lesser in number in east, and in west, they are little bit more. In north, they are little bit more than the west, and in south, they are little bit more in comparison to the north. Now you would see here that the comparative number of the gross plant-bodied living beings. So we see different types of plants in our day-to-day life, and we are using in our diets also. So you can see here that these living beings, which are known as plants or plant-bodied living beings, or vanaspatika, you can see. So where is the water? There are the plants as said, jalam tatthavanam. So this is the principle which I have said, that wherever there is water, there is plants. But plants, without water, they cannot be found anywhere. So thus the number of the plant-bodied living beings depends on the quantity of water. In the east, north, and south, the plants are found in greater number in comparison to the preceding directions. So you can see in east direction, they are found and in north and south, but the number is increasing in comparison to the preceding directions. Now we would see that comparative number of the 2 to 4 sense living beings. So we find these all the different types of mosquitoes and small creatures in our surrounding. They are also found in a bigger number, but we have to see what is the comparative number in different directions. So like the plants, the T is left out, sorry. So 2, 3, and 4 sense living beings are also found there where is water. So it is said that without water, living beings cannot survive. So these small creatures, they might not taking any other thing, but water is needed to them also. So wherever there is water, you will find the quantity of their number is bigger in comparison to those places where the water is not available. So in the west, these living beings are found in lesser number. In the east, north, and south, these living beings are found in greater number in comparison to the preceding directions. So just we have to understand that the number is increasing in what we say in north in comparison to east, and in south in comparison to north. Now we can see that hellish living beings. Here, the hellish living beings, they are found especially in the lower part of the universe, wherever there are 7 hells. But their numbers are also differing from each other from the angle of directions. So you can see here that comparative number of hellish beings, they are also found in south. They are found double number in here in east. In west, you will find the lesser number. In north, you will also found lesser number. In east also, you will find lesser number. But in in south, they are found in greater number. So here we can see what kind of a number of hellish beings are found in different hells. So here there are 7 hells. The 7th one is the is the below in comparison to all other hells, and it is said that in east, north, and west, especially in this particular 7th hell, you will find that the hellish living beings are equal in number, and they are lesser in comparison to the hellish living beings in the same hell in south direction. In the 6th one, the same condition is that in east, and north, and west, you will find they are innumerable in number, and in south, they are also innumerable, but in comparison to east, north, and west, the number of living beings, though it looks like innumerable, but it must be greater. There are so many categories of innumerable also and infinite also. Similarly, in the 5th hell, you would see the same, that in south, they are found in greater number in comparison to all other 3 directions. So this is the same up to 1st hell. So you can see here that how the number is differing in all these hells also from the angle of directions. Now we are coming to the human beings, which is we are most concerned with ourselves in comparison to other living beings. But yes, we should know about them too, and that's why there is discussion in the scriptures. You can see the human beings. It is said that the human beings are found especially in 2.5 islands and also in 11 ocean. So the number of the living human beings in different regions of the middle universe, you would see that in south and in north, they are found lesser in comparison to east and west, and they are equal in number, you can say, in south and north. So in south and north, there is Bharat, there is Airavat, and they are smaller in comparison to Mahavidya, which is located in east and west direction. So that's why here you can see the number of human beings is lesser, though we are seeing that there is almost 6 billion human beings only in the world in which we are living or we are familiar with. And we are thinking that humans are increasing day by day, the number is increasing, and we are very much anxious about that increasing number. But yeah, we have to see that the human beings who are found in this particular part of the world with which we are familiar is very, very less. And not only this part, but when we see all the 2 islands and half islands and also the 11 ocean, then also we will find that the number of human beings is very less in comparison to all other living beings. And now we can see that in the West, especially where there is Mahavidya, and Mahavidya is also divided into 2 parts, Eastern Mahavidya and Western Mahavidya. So in Eastern Mahavidya, you will find that there are so many areas of space. So you will find that the human beings are innumerable more in number in comparison to the south and west, is north. And in Western Mahavidya, you will find greater number or a little bit more number in comparison to the Western Mahavidya. So you can see that in Mahavidya, the human beings are greater in number than the human beings who are found especially in our part of the universe and also in the Airavat. Now we would see that there are different types of deities which are found in this universe, and according to Jainism, there are 4 types of deities. So among the 4, the first category of deities are recognized as Bhavanpati gods. And these Bhavanpati gods, they live in the hell, especially in the interspaces of the first hell. So here you can see that these Bhavanpati gods, they are having buildings like us, and they live in those buildings which are very comfortable and having very good construction or material. So they are living in those buildings or bhavanas. So they are also in different numbers in different directions. So in the east and in the west, they are found lesser in number and equal in comparison to other directions. In north, they are found innumerable more in comparison to the east and west. In south, they are found innumerable more in comparison to north. So in this way, you can find that these are the gods which are also different in number in different directions. Now we would see that the second category of the deities is Vantardev, whom we say ghost. Okay, so these type of or spirits, some people here say metaphysics. So they discuss these kind of spirits under their metaphysics. So metaphysics is a kind of a topic or subject which deals with such kind of spirits. So here you can see that these ghost type of gods, they also live, mostly they live in the middle universe where the human beings are found. But in some quantity, they live also in the lower part of the universe. They are also situated in Ratnaprabha hell, which is the first hell, in it, and also found in a very small part of that particular hell. So you can see that these gods are also lesser in comparison in west direction. Sorry, in east direction. In comparison to other directions. In the west, they are found a little bit more. In north, they are found a little bit more. And in south, they are found a little bit more. So far as the astronomical gods are concerned, they are also having a different number in different directions. So you could see here that in the east and west, they are found in lesser number in comparison to other directions and also equal. But in south, they are found a little bit more, and in north, they are found a little bit more, because there are certain such kind of Manas Sarovar, where these gods go for walking, and that's they found that there are certain living beings who are into order when they see these type of gods. They also got Jati Smaran, means the past life experience, and they think that we have to also be such type of astronomical gods. So they also wish like that, and because of that, you can see that there is greater number of such kind of astronomical gods in this particular direction. Though it is said that the science has seen all these planets, moon, Mars, etc., so there is no such kind of deities who are residing in those planets. But according to scriptures, it is not necessary that the gods are always found on those planets. But yeah, they can go for walking, for enjoying, but all the times they are not found there, and they are mostly live in the middle universe. Now we can see here the comparative number of the Vaimanic gods. So this is the fourth category, and these gods are really the god in true sense. We can say whom we understand in the name of heavenly gods. So these are the Vaimanic gods, and they have Vimans. They live like Vimans, in the Vimans, or different types of Vimans. So Vimans means like we say aeroplane type. So that kind of places they are having, and that's why their abodes or places, dwelling places are recognized as Vimana. And that's why they are known as Vaimanic gods. So you can see here the Vaimanic gods are lesser in and equal in number in east and west direction. In north, they are innumerable in number, and in south, they are little bit more. But we have to see that in this particular number, which we have discussed just before, is what we say is pertaining or related to the first four heavens. But from 5 to 8 heavens, you will see that there is different number. So in the gods who are found in the 5th to 8th heavens, they are found lesser in and equal in number in east, in west, east, and also in north. But so far as the south direction is concerned, they are innumerable. It means they are greater in number to the east, west, and north. And in now we would see that there are 26 heavens, total heavens. So among the from 9 to 26, the number of gods is same in all directions. They are equal in same all directions, and that's why it is said that there is no such comparison among them. Comparative number of liberated souls. So now we would see that liberated, though we all are, we understand that all living and liberated souls are equal in number, might be in all directions, but you can see here that in comparison to what we say east and west, in south and north, you will find the lesser and equal number of liberated souls in what we see in liberation. But so far as the east is concerned, west is concerned, you will find that the number of liberated souls in this particular direction is greater than the east, south and north. And in west, you will find, yes, in west, you will find greater number in comparison to the east one. So why it is so? Because the space in Mahavidya, in the Western Mahavidya and also in the Eastern Mahavidya is bigger, and that's why the human beings are bigger in number, and the human beings are liberating in bigger number in comparison to the human beings who are found in Bharat and Aravat. Now you can see here that all the living beings are also compared in comparison to all other living beings. So this is really very amazing comparison which have been done by Lord Mahavir and the acharyas who were having such kind of a extraordinary knowledge. They could see the exact number of the living beings in different parts of the universe. So you can see here that Samuchai means in total, if you are talking about all different living beings and their number, then it is said that Samuchai so in west direction, in east direction, especially, they are found in a good number in comparison to the west. West is having lesser number. In north, it is found a little bit more, and in south, they are found a little bit more. And in this way, so what is the reason that they are found in different numbers? It is said that vanaspati kai jivani hinadita. So it depends on the vanaspati, plant-bodied living beings. They are greater or lesser in number in different directions, and that's why this number is different. And Prithvikai, so you can see here the Prithvikai, Apkai, Tejaskai. So we have seen almost, but just we can see that if we are comparing all the living beings in comparison to those living beings, in general, if we come to the particular species or particular type of living beings, then you will also find that there is so much difference among them. So without going to so much detail, we are coming to some other points. Now we would see that comparative number of all the 5 forms of life. It is said that there are 4 gatis and 4 forms of life where human beings go after death. So among the 4, the human beings, human life, subhuman life, hellish life, and heavenly life. Okay. But here in the scripture, it is said that those living beings who are not going to any of these 4, gatis or 4 forms of life and liberating, so they are also a kind of going to a different type of gati, and that is known as Siddha Gati. So you can see in Prajnapana Sutra, there is concept of 5 gatis, 5 types of forms of life. So they are also compared that what kind of human beings, living beings are found. So in which particular form of life. So you can see humans are lesser in comparison to all other living beings. The hellish beings are innumerable more in comparison to human beings. The deities are innumerable in number in comparison to hellish living beings. And the liberated souls are infinite number greater in comparison to the heavenly beings, or you can say deities. And the subhuman beings, in which 1 sense to 5 sensed animal beings come, they are maximum in number in comparison to all other forms of life. here it is said that you can also discuss the same thing from 8 point of view. It means the life can be recognized in all 8 ways. So in which they are talking about the female, male humans, similarly narrate. So the hellish living beings are actually not male or female, they are having neuter gender. And in animals, you will find that there is female animals also. So they are also counted here. In deities, among the deities, you will find male and female, both the categories. Siddha, they are liberated, so they are above all genders, and they have transcended these biological genders. And Tiryanch, it means the other, what we say, subhuman beings who are not, what we say, male or female. So they are counted in comparison to all other different forms of life. So you will find that humans are the lesser in comparison to all other living beings, and the subhumans are greater in comparison to all other forms of life. Because there is a plant-bodied living beings, and especially the one-sensed micro-living beings, they are infinite in number. So always this subhuman category is having the maximum number of living beings. Now we would see the comparative number of 1 to 5 sense living beings. So here you can see that in this scripture, Bhagwan Mahavir, or you can say Shamacharya, has discussed all different numbers from different angles. So we know that we are human beings and we are having all the 5 senses. There are animal beings who are also having 5 senses. So we both come in one category, that is the 5 sense living beings. But there are certain living beings who are having only 4 senses, or 3 or 2, or there are certain living beings who are having no sense. They are having senses, but they are not using. So they come under the anindriya, like Siddha. And Akendriya, there are certain living beings who are having one sense living beings. And if we think about all the living beings who are having some kind of senses, so they come in the last category. So you can see that they are also differing in their numbers in comparison to each other. So 5 sense living beings, they are lesser or minimum in number in comparison to all other living beings who are having 4 sense, 3, 2, 1, or not. So you can see not doesn't mean not having, but yes, the liberated souls, they are not having any kind of sense. So they also come anindriya. So here they are, you can see the 4 sense living beings are greater in number to the 5 sense living beings. The 3 sense living beings are greater in comparison to the 4 sense living beings. 2 sense living beings are greater in number to comparison to the 3 sense living beings. Those who are liberated, they are known as anindriya because they have no physical body, and that's why they have no physical senses. So they come under this particular category, and they are infinite in number in comparison to 2 sense living beings. And 1 sense living beings, they are infinite number greater in comparison to what we say liberated souls. And all the living beings who are having some kind of senses, whether 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, they are greater in number or in comparison to even the 1 sense living beings, because it is including all the living beings who are having different senses. So you can see here that human beings are again shown lesser in number. Okay. Now we are coming to the 6 type of substances, which are the basic fundamental realities or entities of the universe. So the whole universe is consisting of these 6 elements or 6 substances. So they are also having some certain number in certain directions or in comparison to each other. So now I'm taking those substances. So the first substance, which is known as the medium of motion, technically it is known as dharmastika. The second substance, which is known as the medium of rest, technically it is known adharmastika. And the third substance, which is known as akashastika, it means space. So it is said that all these three elements or entities or substances, they all are non-physical and non-living, and they are one in number. So they are one and one. It means that dharmasika, the medium of motion, is only one of its kind. Adharmasika is only one of its kind. A space is only one of its kind. Okay, so there is no division of space. Space is always homogeneous and everywhere same and one only. But so far as the living beings are concerned, they are found infinite in number in comparison to all these three substances. So since all the living beings, all souls are individually separate from each other, having its own independent existence, even in liberation. So the number of the jivas in the world is always infinite. Now we can see the matter. Whatever material stuff we are finding in our surrounding, or whatever matter is there in the universe, whether it is black matter, whether it is white matter, whether it is visible, whether it is non-visible, whether it is micro level of matter, or whether it is macro body in physical bodies. You can see that all these material bodies and what we say energies, they come under this Budgalastika. And it is infinite in comparison to the living number of living beings. And so far as the time is concerned, though according to Shvetambara tradition, time is actually not a kind of a separate or independent entity. But yes, time is a kind of a substance which is being used in our day-to-day life to fix everything on time or to finish everything on time. So time is also there, but time in the sense, according to Shvetambara tradition, time is nothing, but it is a kind of changes which are taking place at every moment in all living and non-living entities. But those changes are taking place at every moment, and one moment is just present moment, and after such kind of moments have passed in past time in infinite number. The present one is only the one, and the futuristic all the time which will come, that will also be infinite in number. So in that sense, it is said that the time is infinite number. Though the Digambar tradition accepts that time is also having its own independent existence like other entities, and this time, which is known as time Kal Dravya, and it is in innumerable number, and it is confined only to the universe. While according to Shvetambara tradition, time is a mode of living and non-living substances. It is a kind of changes which are taking place in those substances, and therefore time applies to the supra-universe also, which is beyond the universe. So now we would see that there is some comparison of these substances, and also they are consisting of some units, and those units have been recognized as pradesh. These pradeshas are the part of that particular entity, which is equal to an atom, the smallest unit of the physical entity, in size. So it is said that how they are differing in number of their pradeshas and also as substance. Now we are coming to the 6 reasons of the universe. What are the 6 reasons? It is said that there are the whole universe. Mostly we understand that the universe is divided into 3 parts: upper, lower, and middle universe. Okay, and sometimes we say that it is of 14 rajus. So some people understand that there are 14 such kind of divisions, and this is 14 Rajloka. It is Rajloka doesn't mean that there are 14 parts of the universe or 14 such kind of areas of the universe, but Raj means a Rajju. So 14 Rajju. In that sense, we can say that the universe is 14 Rajjus in height, but so far as the number of living beings which are who are found in different regions of the universe, and those regions have been recognized as 6 regions. Okay, so the first one is Urdhalok and Tirchalok, and the second is Adholok and Tirchalok. It means that when Adholok finishes and the middle universe starts, that point is known as Adholok Tirchalok. When the middle universe ends and the upper universe starts, that part is known as Urdhalok Tirchalok. So nowadays we say that Kshitij, where 2 middle universe and the upper universe meet at that point. So that point we say Kshitij generally. So here you can see that the concept of Kshitij in Jain scriptures is also found in this form, Urdhalok Tirchalok, Adholok Tirchalok. It means it is this is the places where these 2 universes are meeting together. Tirchalok, it means the middle universe, and Tradelok Sparshi, it means there are certain living beings who can be found in all the 3 parts of the universe, which are the 3 major sections, which is known as Urd, Adho, and Badho, lower, upper, and middle. And Urdhalok means the upper universe, the upper part of the universe, where we can also find so many living beings, and in the lower part also we find. So you can see here that in Urdhalok and Tirchalok, it is the Kshitij, where the middle universe is ending and the upper universe is starting. But there is certain place which is, you can see that there is some kind of a gap between the middle and the what we say upper universe. That place, if you find that place is recognized as Pratara in Prajnapana Sutra, and you will find so many living beings in that particular part also. Similarly, when Adholok ends and the middle universe starts, in between these 2 parts of the universe, you will find some space. So that space is known as Adholok Tirchalok. So you will find that the living beings who are found in the Urdhalok Tirchalok Pratar, they are lesser in number in comparison to the Pratar, the living beings who are living in Adholok Tirchalok Pratar. And then you will find that those living beings who are living in the middle universe, they are innumerable in number. And in comparison to these middle universe living beings, the living beings who are found in all the 3 parts, middle, lower, and upper, are innumerable, greater in number. And you can see in the upper universe, the living beings are innumerable more in comparison to the 3 parts of the universe. And in the lower part, you will find some little bit more number of the living beings. So you can see here that regional wise also, or region wise also, the number of the living beings have been compared, and it is shown in this particular picture. Now you can see the what type of 2 prataras, where you can see here the middle universe is starting and the lower universe is ending. In between, there is some space, okay, in between this. So this part is known as Adholok Tirchalok Pratar. And where here from 790 yojans up, the universe, and there is astronomical bodies, which are taking around this Mount Meru, and after 110 yojans, the Urdhvalok starts, the lower, the upper universe starts. So when the middle universe is ending and the lower upper universe is starting, that space is known as Adholok, Tirchalok, Pratar. Sorry, Urdhvalok, Tirchalok, Pratar. So these are two prataras where the living beings are found. Okay, and this is the upper universe, this is the middle universe, and this is the lower universe. So in this way, you can find these 6 types of, six types, and Tranlok. So in this way, the author has divided the whole universe into 6 regions and have shown the comparative number of living beings who are found in those special parts. Now we can see the matter, how matter is available in this universe and in all the 6 regions. So you can find that the number, the quantity of material entities, or you can say particles or subparticles, whatever is, or energies, they are found lesser in comparison to all the 3 parts of the universe. And here you can see Urdhvalok, Tirchalok, this pratar is having more quantity in comparison to all the 3. And here in Adholok, Tirchalok, you will find a little bit more number. And in middle universe, you will find innumerable more in number. And in upper universe, you would find innumerable more in comparison to the middle universe matter. And in lower part of the universe, you will find little bit more quantity of the material bodies in comparison to all other parts. So comparative number of all the 6 substances in 6 regions of the universe, though I have already, So here it is said that we were talking about the matter. Now it is a kind of a comparison of all the 6 substances in comparison to each other. So you can see that as in the 3 parts, if we take these 3 parts of the universe into consideration, then we will find that the substances, the number of the substances found in this particular all the 3 areas is lesser in comparison to other parts of the universe. Urdhvalok, Tirchalok is having infinite number more greater in comparison to all the 3. Adholok, Tirchalok is having a little bit more number. The upper universe is having innumerable greater number, and Adholok is having infinite more number in comparison to other ones, and the middle universe is having numerable number more into quantity in comparison to other. So in this way, we have discussed about the comparative number of all the 6 substances and matter and different types of living beings, particular living beings. But now we would see that in the Prajnapana Sutra, in the end of the chapter, the author is talking again about 98 types of comparisons of living beings, especially. And you will find here that Sankhyaata Bol, Asankhyaata Bol, and Ananta Bol. So you can see here that all the numbers have been divided into 3 categories. One is Sankhyaat. It means you can count those numbers through your digit, or whatever digit we are having. And there are certain number of the living beings which have been recognized as Sankhyaat. It means innumerable. They cannot be counted. If we have digit in future, we would have some greater disease, then might be we could count, but it is at present, we can say that they are innumerable. And there are certain numbers of living beings which have been recognized as Ananta, infinite. So they cannot be counted because they are infinite in number. Nobody can count them at any point of time. So in that way, we have to understand the comparative number of the living beings. So you can see here that Sa-indriya means those living beings who are having any kind of sense, whether it is 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5. All these living beings have been discussed from 93 points of view. And you can see Nigodana 50 is what we say 54. Achar Bolan Siddhas Bhagwan. So here they have discussed about Nigod Jivas also and about the liberated living beings. Anindriya, it means those living beings who are not having any kind of senses. They are recognized as liberated souls. They have been discussed from 76 points of view. Nigod means those living beings who are residing in infinite number in one body. And they may be of micro level or macro level, both. So those living beings have been also discussed from 54, 60, 72, 73 points of view. And you can say Kul Ekendriya. So you can say this is the 98 points of views from which these living beings have been discussed in this particular scripture. Akendri, so far as the one-sense living beings are concerned, they have been discussed from 32 points of views. So all these details would require some different lectures so that we can grasp easily. Today, just I have given the outlines of these 98 types of points of views which have been discussed in this particular scripture, to understand the different number of living beings in comparison to one another. And now we are coming to the conclusion of our discussion, that what is the essence, or what is the what we say main points we have to understand by this long discussion about the comparative number of all different living beings and also the substances of the universe. We would see that in comparison to male, females are in greater number among all the worldly beings. When we would see and analyze the number of the living beings of male and female, then we would see that the females are found 3 times more than the male living beings. This is what is coming out of this study. In the world, like lucky people, the bad people are also less in number. So you will see that the hellish living beings are decreasing as the hells are in the succeeding hells. So, similarly, the number of the deities, heavenly beings or higher gods, they are also decreasing in the what we say in the upper heavens. So it shows that the most good people or lucky people or souls, and they are as less in number. Similarly, the hellish living beings are also lesser in number, and all other living beings are in between. Among all the living beings, humans are minimum and Nigud living beings are maximum in number. And when we take the overview of the comparative number of all different living beings, we find that human beings are lesser in number or minimum in number than other living beings, other forms of life. And Nigud Jivas are maximum in number in comparison to all other living beings. So in this way, these 3 things which we have to understand, which are the outcome of this big discussion of the chapter 3 of Prajnapana. With this, I want to stop my discussion. If somebody has any question, they can ask.
Vrindavan?
Yes.
this is detailed discussion for the whatever jivas and things. Why we need to know in this detail in this lifestyle?
Yes. So until and unless we know that we are taking birth in different forms in this universe, and we have been taking these forms many times from the time immemorial. Okay. So how we can come out of these lower forms of life and can proceed towards the liberation, final liberation. So it is necessary to understand what is your position in this universe. You are not always human beings. You are taking birth in very different forms of life. And those living beings are found in different regions. You have already been there many times. Okay. So it is also showing the mirror to yourself that see what you are doing actually. And this is the study of Tattva-gyan. Okay, this is Tattva-gyan. What is the reality of the universe? What is the reality of the world in which we are living actually? Okay, so that also we should know. When we wake up early in the morning, we try to see what is the news of today, what is newspaper, what is going on in the world. So we should also know the world, which is very much important for us to understand our own situation.
Thank you. And
Marasa, I have this Prajnapana Sutra in Hindi. I got this from. This is from Jodhpur in Rajasthan, India.
Okay.
But it is. I tried to study this book, but it is in very, very detail, and it's really difficult to understand at this moment.
That's why I am talking in English. So just by listening to the lectures, you can easily follow. It is not difficult things. Okay, it is not given in mathematics. It is not given in the form of equations.
No, it's not the problem of language. It is in very detail.
That's why I have said that this is a real compendium of Jainism. If you want to know originality of Jainism, you should read this particular scripture. Everything is given in this particular text, which is very unique, and no other tradition know about it. Okay, it is only in Jain sages and seers who could see the realities with such a detail and to such extent.
That's why I'm saying that your lecture is much more easy to understand than reading this book.
Okay, so thank you for that. Yeah, because this is a Prakrit language, and also you must have to be familiar with the technical terms and concept of Jainism.
Yeah, this book has the meanings also of different words. So this book is basically with meanings, and जो हिंदी में बोलते हैं मूल पाठ,
yes,
कठिन शब्दार्थ, भावार्थ एवं विश्लेषण.
Wow.
So this whole book this is around 600 pages of only 3 chapters.
Only 3 chapters. So you can see
we have a 4 volume.
You can see the volume of the Jain scriptures. Only one scripture is and 3 chapters only are taking 600 pages.
So in 1 volume.
In only 1 volume. Yeah, it is true. It is true. Thank you. If we could get a PDF, then we can upload for our other participants, those who are Hindi speaking and are not able to read anything in Gujarati or Prakrit.
For Indian people, it's very easily available in India.
Yes, it is true. So you can provide just me the address.
Okay.
And if it is possible to get any digital copy or PDF, then it would be well and good for us.
I'll ask these people whether they have a digital copy or not.
Yes, if it is available in the digital form, also Kindle form, then also we can just give the link to our participants who are in this speaking.
Okay. Oh,
Yes,
oh,
good. Thank you.
thank.
Vandami Namam Sami Samniji.
Yes,
There is so much mention of the aparyapta.
yes.
What is the reason for that?
See, this is the one of the inevitable state of all living beings. All living beings, they are coming, they are undergoing this stage. Okay, so whenever they are taking birth, first they come to this stage that is called aparyapta. It means still they have not completed their physical necessary systems. Okay, so until and unless they finish, they cannot be they cannot interact with the outer world, or they cannot be said a full living being in that sense. So that's why this is the inevitable stage, and you can say very first stage, primitive stage of all living beings.
And the amount of time they live is very short. So they are
Yes.
keeping on taking birth and rebirth so
is.
often. So
Yes.
many states of the living beings are in this particular state. Is that what it means?
Yeah,
That
you can
our-
understand that. You can understand in that way also. But all the incomplete living beings, they are not incomplete, and they do not remain only incomplete. They become complete. No,
Yes.
some of them, especially the what we say asexual human beings and subhuman beings. Not all this asexual, but those who are just coming, generating in our what excretes, those are dying in incomplete state. They do not become full or complete. But all other living beings, they can be complete after a certain time. Okay, within 48 minutes, they have to complete their all physical systems. Neetaji and some other doctors may be here. The medical science says that, okay, the child who comes in the womb of their mother, they are getting completed in 3 months. But no, according to Jainism, they must create all the blueprints of their necessary physical system within 48 minutes of what we say conception. Within 48 minutes.
Mm.
Okay, they become full or complete within 48 minutes. It is a kind of blueprint, and it may not be recognized by these scientific instruments, but according to Jainism, it is full within 48 minutes. It doesn't take full 48 minutes even.
Okay.
So abortion is completely prohibited. It is not that after 3 months the child would have a life. No. Without life, it cannot be a child even in the very first moment. Life is there, that's why it is growing.
Yes, true.
Vandami Naman Swami Samiji,
Yes.
so this aparyapti, can you have it, because you have it in living beings, can you have it in plants as well?
Yes, all living beings, not only plants. See,
so under what conditions, like plants are one sense, so like what kind of paryaptis do they have to have?
Okay, so they, from the point of view of senses, they are having just one sense, that is touch or tactile, you can say, or skin, or body, you can say. But it doesn't mean that that body should work from within, no. And for that, the first system is required, that they must have digestive system. They can take water from outside, they can take what we say khad, what is the pesticides, or or sunlight. So they are taking food, these energies from outside, or water, soil, and other things. So the digestive system must be in the plants also, in the microbe also, in the nigojivas also. So this is the very first system which must be inside the body of all living beings. So that is called Ahar Paryapti, digestive system, and excretory system is the part of the digestive system. Okay, in modern science, the excretory system is recognized separate from the digestive system, no? So that's why they count 10 systems in the body. But according to Jainism, they are known as a biopotential. Yes, they are known as biopotentials. Okay,
Yeah.
so all the biopotentials, they have three main functions: taking something from outside, assimilating it with the body, and the waste must be excreted. These are the main three functions of each of the biopotentials. Okay, so all the living beings have to complete at least 4 biopotentials. The first one is that Ahar Paryapti, that is known as digestive system in the language of modern science. The second is Sharir Paryapti. Without food, he cannot make his body. So that's why the body is also very essential to interact with the world or to live that particular life. So body must be completed by that particular living being. And the third one is Indriya. It means without senses, how you could come to know that what is going on in your surrounding, how you have to react or how you have to act. So senses are necessary. You must have a little bit knowledge to survive in that particular form of life. So you must have some kind of senses. So sensory system must be, it means you must have some kind of sense. If you have not all the 5 senses, at least one sense is required, essential for all the living beings, even to Nigodas. Okay, so the body sensory system must be developed into body so that somebody can interact or touch or taste or and do anything. And the last one is the breathing system, respiratory system. These are the 4 essential biopotentials for every living beings, including from 1 sense to 5 sensed. Okay, so until unless it may be that if the 1 sensed living beings are having just these 3, these 4, okay, and if they complete these 4, then they are known as complete living beings or full living beings. Okay, or otherwise, if they have completed just 3.5, then they come under the incomplete one. The other living beings who are having 2 sense to 5 sense, 5 senses, so especially 2 to 4 sense living beings, they need 5 systems. And the 5 sensed living beings need 6 systems. So in 5, they must have vocal cord so that they can express their feelings, or they can express their emotions or their needs. So vocal system must be inside the body so that you can speak and create some kind of sound or can give some indications. And the 5 sensed living beings, especially those who are having mind, they must have their brain also, brain structure. So that's why it is said the Sangi Jivas are having the brains. Okay, so you must have that so that you can think, you can analyze, you can categorize, classify, you can make reasoning, or can do argumentation or memorize anything. So for that you need the brain structure also. Okay, so these 6 systems must be completed by all the human beings and the animal beings who are having mind, thinking ability. Clear?
Thank you.
Yes. Any other?
Vandami Samanji. This water body being, it is considered only in Madhya Log or Urdhva Log also?
Water-bodied living beings are found in Urdhva also, in heavens also. Okay, in lower part also. Yeah. And micro water-bodied living beings are found everywhere in the universe, no?
And one more thing, what I understand, the water body being matches the number of living being, the directions.
Yes.
Total number of living being directions match with the water body being. That indicates water is the cause for main cause for the living being.
Yes, yes. So water is the what we say basic necessity for survival for all different types of living beings.
And also science is searching for the water for the near galaxies or to find some other living being. But as
Yes.
per your today came to know that there are living beings based on fire being and air being also. So science, if want to search for the air, where is the maximum direction, there is a living being also available, air or fire.
It means that without water they are available. You want to say?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Because
so
the
see,
direction is totally different. Air body being directions totally different than the water body. Science is acting on the only water. They are searching for the water only. They are not searching for the air body beings. To search for the living being in other planet.
yeah, it is true. Because water is essential for human beings. They want to what we say locate human beings on different other planets. Until and unless there is water, humans being cannot survive. So they are looking for water. They are concerned with water only. But they should understand without water we cannot survive. But without air also we cannot survive. Okay. So air is also essential, water is also essential, earth is also essential, fire is also essential, especially for human beings. We have seen that the human beings are using fire. Without fire, they cannot cook their food or they cannot do any other things. So fire is also essential for human beings for their development. Okay.
And another conclusion, madam, what I got from the today lesson,
yes,
fire body being and human being and liberation being direction is matches. Human being directions, fire body being directions, liberation being direction.
Third one, what you have said?
Liberated being.
Oh, liberated beings. Okay.
These three is similar.
These three are similar. Okay. Yeah.
So it indicate either fire body being supporting the human category also, and human can only the liberation.
It is true, because it is human who can make such kind of effort for liberation. Other living beings have no understanding about liberation, or they cannot make
direction also matches.
Yeah, they cannot make. Yes, directions are also matching, because it is said that 45 Lake Eugen is the total sphere of the human sphere. Okay, and the liberated beings are going from there, that region also, that region only. So they are found in the same directions where the human beings are.
And finally, one clarification.
Yes.
What that this direction is with respect to Meru Parvat, not our Vyahar direction, right? Current direction, northeast. It is not considered northeast.
Yeah, we are talking about northeast, west, so that is true. But we have to understand that these directions are starting from the Ruchak Pradeshas, which are situated in the center of Meru Mount. Okay, so that is the origin place of all directions. The directions are starting from there and spreading throughout the universe and also the supra universe.
And while Samadhi Maran Madam, why the living being looking for the north direction? Is there any direction is depends on Samadhi?
So how I couldn't get this point, how the Samadhi is being done in north direction.
Time, living being faces the direction towards the north.
Okay. See, it is said that okay, the reason, it is said I have to look for the proper reason for that.
But this north direction facing this Vyahari, what we are in this universe north direction, not they are looking for the Meru Parvat.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because we can't locate ourselves in the right direction of Meru Parvat. Okay, whatever we just locating ourselves in that direction, and we are understanding directions from our point of view, that wherever we are there. Suppose I am here in America, so India is in the eastern direction, and when some people are there in India, they are looking at America in western direction. So it depends on our regional area where we are locating. We are understanding directions in that way. We look at the sun, how sun, where the sun is rising, in which direction it is rising. So whatever direction it may be of rising sun, that direction especially is recognized as the east, and the opposite is west. Okay, so we are there are certain different criteria of fixing the directions. Okay, there are 18 types of directions. So it means that there are 18 types of criteria which have been fixed to understand the concept of directions. So we are following Tap Disha, the concept of Tap Disha. It means that in the direction in which the sun is rising is east, and the opposite one is west. Okay.
Is there any significance, madam, during Samadhi Maran? Why the living being facing north direction? Is there any significance?
It is said that north direction is for the dead people facing towards that, but just I have to see the right reason. Okay, why it is said. Mostly what happens whenever we are practicing, we are doing some special chanting of mantras or meditation, then we are said that we have to sit in facing towards north and as what we say east. But so far as the dead body is concerned, when it is in lying posture, it must be faced towards the, or its head at least must be in north direction. So in that way, it is also said in night time when we are sleeping, we should not put our head in north direction, because north direction is having some negative energies, and the south direction is having positive. It means you will get wealth or prosperity if you are facing your head in the south direction. And east is for religious things, for pious things, and north is west is neutral. So in that way, it is said that north direction is having negative energies, and you should not sleep in that direction. And that's why the dead body is not recognized as a good body. So it might be it is put into that way.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other thing?
Samniji, can you enlighten us on the Ruchak Pradesh of the Mount Meru?
So Ruchak Pradeshas, see all the, especially in the case of living beings and also in the case of Meru Mount, there is concept of Ruchak Pradeshas, and Ruchak Pradeshas always considered in 8 number. So, and they are the most, they are located in the most central part of that particular living being, or you can say the Mount Meru. So the Mount Meru is made of stone, or you can say earthly particles. So those particles which are being recognized, they are earthly particles. They are in the center of the Mount Meru, from where the directions are starting. And in the case of the living beings also, it is said that there are 8 Ruchak Pradeshas which never get affected by karmas. Okay, they are always pure, without a karmic effect, and that's why we have minimum knowledge in all these conditions, all the conditions. Okay, we might have so much karmas, and because of that, we can go to stone form. Instead of that, the stone is also sensing that someone is coming to cutting the stone or destroying the mountain or whatever is. So because of these 8 Ruchak Pradeshas which are uncovered, and because of that, we are able to sense whatever is happening with us in any condition, okay, in any form of life.
So it's a very pure state of
these are the pure, these are the pure, you can say points, 8 points of soul, which are always pure, which are always uncovered. Similarly, the Mount Meru is having 8 such central points from where directions can start, or they are recognized as the origin place of the directions. So all the four directions, east, west, north, and south, they are starting from 2 points of those Ruchak Pradeshas. The up direction and the lower direction are starting from 4 Pradeshas, and the semi directions are starting from 1 Pradeshas among the Ruchak Pradeshas. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So any other? I think so it may be a little bit tough, but I think it is interesting, no, to know the comparative number of all the different living beings, and we could see that how these elements are found in different proportion in different parts of the universe. And these are not just something which is alien for us, but we have been there in those different forms.
There are some hand raises, Soniji.
Okay.
I want to make a request.
Kumar, you can ask me any question. Radish Kumar is the heart specialist or cancer specialist. Yes.
Vandami Shramiji, the question I had is that is considered that Meru Parvat is like a solid, like is it like actually a Parvat? Because I sometimes wonder, like if you look at the famous pictures of Hubble telescope, there is a very famous picture called 3 Pillars of Creation. It's basically shows the cosmic particles in which all the planets are being born. And when they use technology where they use different kind of computer layering, they see it as basically like one big mountain with 3 kind of peaks to it, and all the stars and galaxies born within this huge structure. And so I kind of wonder if there could be any parallels between those two.
So it looks, you can share that study or that article, whatever is, if you have such information, I can just read out and can see that what kind of similarities. It looks very similar to what we are saying, okay? We are saying that this is a biggest mountain which is located in the center, and it is very big one. And it is reaching even up to the 5th of heaven. The peak of this mountain is reaching to the 5th of heaven, actually. Okay, there are 26 heavens which are up. So in the, what we say, the upper part of what we say, the top of the mountain is reaching to that heaven also. And all these planetary bodies are moving around that. So that is the place I have shown. And yes, it is an earthly body. It is a concrete body which can be easily perceived. But just we are thinking that we are in the south part of the Jambu Island, and this Meru mountain is situated in the east-west part, which is known as Mahavidya. So, and we don't know the right direction to reach there. So that's why we couldn't come to know that where the mountain is. We are not able to perceive it from such a long distance, but it is there according to the scriptures. Okay.
Thank you. I put a link to the picture on the chat, and then I can send you the information.
Okay. Okay. So you can send me, because we are looking for such kind of studies, so that we can locate our things in the language of today. Yes, I will see it. Okay. Tarang Jain, you want to ask anything?
Yeah, I have a request to make. Is it possible to make the presentations and contents to be downloadable so that we may read those contents when net is not available? Because we are not able to download PPT or the PDF files or contents on our laptop or mobile.
Okay, so I have to ask what is a Surreal, that what can be the best way. so that you guys can download and can get benefit of it. But I have to see, because I am not an expert of Google system, okay, or technology. So I have to ask him and let you know.
Thank you.
Yes, but throughout the week, the things are available. They are always open to all of you. You can get access, or you can read out from Google Class anytime. And throughout the semester, they are available. That much time you have to note down or to take a screenshot, so if you want to take. But I have to ask him whether it is downloadable or not. Suresh Kumar, yes, you can ask.
Yeah, this direction is based on Mount Meru, correct, ma'am?
Yes, they are starting from Mount Meru and reaching up to the supra universe and becoming of infinite in length and width.
Yeah, there are 5 Meru mountain. Which Meru mountain we will consider as a...
Very good question. So they are starting from the Mount Meru, which is located in Jammu Island, and it's in its center. Okay, so that Meru mountain, especially for our galaxies, okay, our solar system. But there are certain other 5 Mount Merus, and they are also having such solar systems like us. So they are different solar systems, okay? And we, in the solar system with which we are familiar, we are perceiving, that especially is concerned with that particular Mount Meru, which is located in Jammu Island.
Okay, but we cannot duplicate the other mountain also, same thing. What are the directions? Same can be as a template. We cannot fix the other Meru mountain, or only our Meru mountain only this direction is possible.
See, those Meru mounts are located in Dhatkhikhand and Ardhapushkar. So they are very far out of our reach. But they are also covering very big part of the universe. And suns and moons and other planets which are available in that solar system and taking around those Meru mounts, they are giving light in that particular part of the universe, okay? But we don't need, because we have our own solar system, no? We cannot get access. And sometimes you can see, just I wanted to show the number of the, what we say, suns and moons. According to Jain scriptures, there are 132 moons, 132 suns in each of the galaxies. And you will find almost 66,975 you can say billions of number, okay, stars in each of the galaxy. So this is the what estimate is given regarding the number of the astronomical bodies in Jain scriptures. There are 88 big planets. Today science has invented or discovered 11 planets, it is said. According to Hindu scriptures, there are 9 planets. But according to Jain scriptures, there are 88 big planets, okay? And 28 nakshatras and 66,975 crore. So you can say billions of stars in each of the galaxies. And there are 66 galaxies according to Jain scriptures, which are especially found in human spheres. Each are having such number of planets, nakshatras, stars, and suns and moons.
Okay, thank you, Vandana.
Yes. So with this, I think I have completed my discussion. So thank you for coming and listening with patience. These are very details. Sometimes some of the other tradition, Indian traditions, they say that, oh, why Omniscient has started counting all these big numbers of the living beings, the microbes, etc. But they were omniscient. They were talking about the human soul and foreign and their liberation, and that's why they are showing their picture of their own life, that how you are taking birth in different regions of the universe, in different forms, in different species, and now you should put to an end this cycle of births and deaths. So they are showing very big picture to humans, and for that they have counted all the forms of life. Might be they are omniscient, okay, so everything comes into their knowledge without any effort. They are not making effort for counting. It is automatic in their consciousness. So they are telling if somebody is asking. Thank you. So now I have to leave.